Leaving places of incarceration can be a frightening experience. There are many challenges about coming back to a community, especially if you've been incarcerated for a number of years. A lot of times you don't have that support group that you had before, or if you do have a support group, it wasn't particularly a healthy one. So what do you do when you come back to a community, especially if you're coming back to a community where you've never lived before? A lot of folks that we work with come into communities that they've never lived in before because there's more resources there. There's more housing, there's more employment opportunities, there's more mental health opportunities there. And it can be very daunting to come back to a place where come to a place where you don't really know anybody. So that's why we think that participating in a mentoring program is a very, very positive and healthy thing. I've got Mark Johnson here with me, who has worked with mentoring groups and as a mentor for a number of years, and he's going to share why he thinks it's important for people who are coming back out of places of incarceration to actually connect with one of our mentoring groups. Mission Behind Bars provides mentoring groups for folks who are coming back into communities across Kentucky. So Mark, let me just start with asking you to share with us some of the benefits of a mentoring group for somebody who's coming out of jail or prison.
Well, for anyone that's been incarcerated for any length of time, of course you've lost contact with things that are going on in the community. Things change, and the environment that you're in, you know, you're used to being told what to do and where to go and when to go and what, you know, who you have to work with and all that, so forth. So when you connect with the mentor group, you get an automatic support system. And a lot of our clients, as you said, that a lot of our clients are coming to communities where they don't know anyone. So when they are connected with the mentor group, hopefully that they've met prior to release, but not always. We can't always do that. But hopefully they connected before they get out. And when they do, then then they know someone in that community, and that's valuable.
So tell us a little bit about what a mentoring group does. So what would somebody expect when they sign up and they are connected with a mentoring group? What does that look like? What happens in a mentoring group program?
So when they sign up and we get the application and review it and decide to accept one into our mentor program, and we pair them up with a group of mentors, well then the mentors will commit to work with you for a minimum of 6 months. They work with you on all kinds of issues that you may have, but they set up a schedule to make calls and contact you every day. So once you're out in the community, they will contact you either via text, email, phone, in person, and then they set up a weekly face-to-face meeting. And it's kind of like a basic case management style meeting where you come in and the client will tell the group what their priorities are. And then the group will work with the client to establish some short-term goals and long-term goals and so forth. And then every week when they meet, they follow up on those goals and they make recommendations and do that.
So these mentoring groups, 3 to 5 people working with one individual, are people who live in the community, so they're familiar with the resources in the community. Mm-hmm. They know people in the community. They know employers in the community. Mm-hmm. They have networks that connect people who are coming out of places of incarceration with people in the community who may be able to help them. What other things do these mentoring groups do for somebody who's coming out of prison?
Well, you know, our mentor groups in the communities that we work in, and we work all around Kentucky, but in the communities that we work in, we've established partnerships with other agencies and so forth. So we can make referrals for employment resources, we make referrals for healthcare resources, we make referrals for recovery programs and things like that in the community. And our mentors are people that have been successful and they've led successful lives. And some of our mentors are actually what we would consider peer mentors. They've been incarcerated before and they have come out and successfully navigated the waters of reentry, which is where you're at now. And then they can provide the expertise and they can connect with you emotionally about how it was for them when they came out. So it's very valuable.
One of the things that we stress is the idea of accountability. People who come out of places of incarceration, as Mark mentioned, often need someone to be looking over their shoulder, not in a way that's punitive, but in a way that's helpful. And providing that accountability is an important part of what mentoring groups can do. Can you tell us a little bit about how that works? You mentioned that these mentoring groups, somebody will contact them once a day, but if they're having a bad day, if something goes wrong, if they lose their job, what do these mentoring groups do, and how do they help?
Well, you know, for instance, if you lose a job, well, the mentoring group can sit down with you during one of their face-to-face meetings or prior to that, and look at the situation surrounding your job loss and maybe help you understand what happened to create that job loss. Maybe it's some of those soft skills that you weren't showing, that maybe you missed a lot of work, or you were having transportation issues or whatever, like anything like that. Well, then the mentor group can help you work on that and overcome those barriers.
One of the things that we want to stress is that these mentoring groups don't report to anyone. They're your mentoring group, and there's a great sense of maintaining confidentiality. Of course, if there are some dangers that are involved, if there's a fear that you may hurt yourself or hurt someone else, they have a duty to report that. But basically, this is a group that's in your corner. They're there to pick you up when you're down. They're there to celebrate when you have success. This is a group that is part of your new life. And many of our mentors will mention that many of the ones who are in our mentoring group will mention that this is a family for them, that their mentoring group has become a family for them. It's a great resource, a resource that we want to make available to you if you're interested in that. It's another tool in your toolbox as you move through this process of a successful entry. So go to our website, fill out an application form, and we hope that this is something that may be helpful to you as you continue on your journey.